What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today in this video, guys, I'm going to talk to you guys about the difference between Joule or heroes. Which one should you buy? Should you buy a Joule? Should you buy a hero? Or should you just not get in? I mean, is it too late? Well, we're going to go ahead and go over the pros and cons of each and then tell you different ways that you can get into DeFi kingdoms. Of course, this is not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor. So guys, let's go ahead and get into the video. The first thing I want to mention that makes DeFi Kingdoms completely different than any other game, even similar to like Axie Infinity, is the barrier to entry. Now, the barrier to entry on DeFi Kingdoms is actually variable. So, what do I mean by variable? Well, the first thing I mean is the gardens. Compared to Axie Infinity, the only way you can get into Axie Infinity is either A, coughing up a bunch of money in order to get in and play the game, or B, being sponsored. Those are the only two ways. With DeFi Kingdoms, there are actually multiple ways. First way is, well, you can simply just buy Joule and then buy a hero. The second way is you can actually go into the gardens and you can farm to earn a hero. Now, if you already have some crypto holdings, you can stake them into the gardens and you can farm and earn Joule. This Joule you can use to buy a hero, and then you can participate in the quests and participate in the game itself. And third as well, they do have sponsorships coming on the back burner. So they have all three covered. And in my opinion, this is very bullish for the game because if you don't have the money to get into the game, all you have to do is spend some time in the gardens and you can start farming some Joule. Of course, not financial advice, and I'm not telling you to do so. By the way, if you guys want to know what these notes are, these are just helping me keep on track. They're my ADHD notes, and they help keep focus. So, Joule versus hero. Well, let's go ahead and go over the pros of Joule. The first pro of Joule is, well, it's more fungible. It has better liquidity. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're trying to swap a pirate, monk, or level 1, generation 1, 10 out of 10 summon monk, well, I may say it's one price, you may say it's one price, they may say it's one price, but with Joule, it's, well, one Joule equals $20 or one Joule equals $19. It's whatever the price the market says it is. So, we can't contradict against that. Like, if Johnny says, nah, bruh, it's worth $10, and I'm like, nah, bruh, it's worth $40, and then we're like, forget you, bruh. I can just go to the exchange or the marketplace and then I can just buy it right there and it says $20. Okay, I'll make the swap. Thanks. Bye. That's how you can understand that. That's how it's more fungible. Now, second, it's easier to buy Joule. What do I mean by this? Well, yes, you can buy it on the marketplace. That's great and all. But I mean, it's easier as in you don't have to do as much research. You can look into DeFi Kingdoms. You can look into the community and be like, man, I want in. This is awesome. So you buy Joule. Now, where it gets more complicated is when you're wanting to buy a hero. A hero is not a hero is not a hero. If you have a Generation 1, 10 out of 10 summons Monk, a Generation 1, 10 out of 10 summon Dark Knight that's mythic, then it's like, which one's better? Well, to help speed up the process for you, it's the mythic Dark Knight. So just so you know. Now, Joule, another pro for this is the crystal airdrop. Now, this isn't the one-all be-all pro. This is also a pro for the heroes, but I just want to put this out here. Because if you're holding X Joule in the bank, you will get a crystal airdrop. There are also other airdrop snapshots. Now, let's go over the cons of Joule. The first one is you can't use it like you can use a hero in the game. Sure, Joule is great and all, but you can't go on quests, you can't summon, you can't level up, you just can't do stuff in the game without the hero. You need the hero. So basically, if you want to actually play the game, you need to have a hero. Second is, well, they've already had some hints that in order to get land, you have to have heroes that are leveled up. Now, this is important to understand because if you are a Joule whale and you want to buy some land, well, that's not happening. And also, Joule whales, if you have a bunch of locked Joule, you're basically going to have to wait till 2023 in order to get that unlocked. Or you can get a mining hero, which will unlock that for you. Something to keep in mind. Now, those are just a few of the cons. I think the main part is the community aspect and being able to play the game. You can't really be as involved in the community. You hear someone like, bro, I just summoned a Mythic Dread Knight, and it's like, what the snap? And then you're like with a huge bag of Joule, and you don't even know what that is. You don't even know how hard it is. You're just like, yeah, good for you, Johnny. Whatever. I got a bunch of Joule. I'm a Joule whale. This is so much fun. And then the other guy's like, he's got 10 Joule to his name, and he's got a Mythic Dread Knight, and he's like as high as a kite, man. He's like, what the snap? This is amazing. If I was in that situation, I would actually rather be the happy person because, well, happiness is worth more than money. I mean, the reason people spend money is to be happy. Well, for the most part. And let's go ahead and go over the pros and cons of a hero. First is heroes have a potentially higher upside. Why do I say that? Well, if you know what you're doing, you know what you're picking, you know the rarities, you know the skills, you know the traits, you know the classes, it has a higher upside than Joule. Just go back to the NFT craze. Did you make more money investing in Bitcoin or investing in Ethereum, or did you make more money flipping JPEGs? Yeah, that term flipping JPEGs, people made a ton of money doing that. I'm not talking thousands, I'm not talking tens or hundreds of thousands. I'm talking millions of dollars just like off of a mint. Just look at a CryptoPunk. You could have minted a CryptoPunk for like, I don't know, back in the day, what was that, 50 bucks, 30 bucks? And those things are worth multi-million dollars. Just imagine that. Just something to think about. Next is you can use heroes to earn questing items. So with Joule, you can't send Joule on a quest. You can't find the pet eggs. You can't find the bloater fish. The good old bloater fish. You can't mine for Joule. You can't mine for gold. You literally cannot mine for this stuff or quest for this stuff. You have to have a hero. Third, you can also use the hero in the game besides just questing. And there are potential airdrops. Well, actually, there's some confirmed airdrops for it. You will actually get more crystal depending on the rarity of your hero and for summoning. So you'll get bonus heroes just for summoning. So something else to keep in mind. Next is, well, time can be spent to make the heroes more valuable. Whereas with Joule, you literally just farm, hold, and that's really all you can do with it. But with the heroes, if you spend time sending them on quests, it actually makes them more valuable. We don't see that right now, but until the level 1, level 10, whatever different level quests there are, you have to have a hero that reaches a certain level. And how do you level up? Well, you spend a bunch of time doing it. Now, if I want to skip the time, what do I do in exchange for that? Well, I exchange Joule for it. So if you have time, which is a valuable asset, you can spend that time to level up your hero and you'll be able to sell it for a premium. So do not sleep on the heroes level. Well, at least until I buy enough heroes. Then you can wake up on it. But that's up to you. Next is mining/gardening for Joule. Well, Joule, you can't do that. Joule doesn't go in the garden to Joule. In fact, you throw a Joule LP pair or even Bitcoin and ETH pair into the garden to farm Joule. And a portion of that is locked. So there's a portion that cannot be unlocked till 2023 unless you have a miner. Now, another thing that is very bullish on heroes is you potentially need these for land. There's already been hints about it that they need to be leveled up, so that is something to keep in mind as well. And of course, the crystal airdrop, like I mentioned. Now, with all those great pros, what are the cons of a hero? Well, first, it's not as liquid. What do I mean by this? Well, if you want to sell your pirate and there's nobody playing the game or no one wants that stinky pirate, well, then no one is going to buy it. Whereas Joule, if no one wants to buy it, well, you're able to sell it at least for a lower price. I mean, sure, you can do it with a hero, but the markets are not as liquid. It's not as easy as a swap. In fact, you have to list it on the marketplace and just wait. So your money is locked up and it's not as liquid. Now, second is depending on the success of the game, aka Joule, well, your heroes are vulnerable to that. What do I mean by this? Well, if the game is not successful or if people don't like to play DeFi Kingdoms, well, the heroes are going to go down in value. Not only Joule, but also the heroes. Now, this is a risk to Joule as well. It's not as much of a risk as with the heroes. Because, well, if Joule is successful, that doesn't mean the heroes have to be successful, especially if there is a bunch in mint. Take a look at Axe Infinity. There are a bunch of axes that are dirt cheap that are actually going for less than the cost to mint them. So something to keep in mind. That's why you need to put in the research and study which heroes are good. Now, The next is picking the wrong heroes, and it may not be a good investment. If you pick a bad hero or pick the wrong heroes in general, there is a chance that, well, not a chance, but you will most likely lose money on them. However, if you keep sending them on quests and sending them in the gardens and the mines, maybe they will make up for the loss. A good example of this is like buying a summoner that is good at mining. A good example of this is like buying a wizard for the mining profession. As in, like, the wizard has the mining profession. It's not bad. I mean, it's just not great. Like, it's just the doo-doo on the list. Like, it's the lowest of the low on the mining. So it has very bad strength and endurance. This is just a trait that you need to research and understand. But the wizards won't sell as much as a mining paladin would sell for. Of course, a lot of miners are going like hotcakes right now, so it kind of is a bad example. But in a regular place, like if there wasn't a supply shock of miners, a paladin miner versus a wizard miner, all day, everyone would want that paladin miner. And if there was plenty of supply of the paladin miners, dark knights, knights, any of those miners, then that wizard is going to basically be there for a long time, unless it's super cheap. Now, the next con is it's expensive to get in. Right now, the bare minimum is like $800 to $700 just to get in. I know this is a con, but it is not a full con, because if it was completely free, then you'd have a bunch of people coming in. They aren't as convicted. They don't really like the game as much. They're just jumping in because their friends were jumping in, so they're just trying it out. However, if you put a price tag to it, then people realize, oh yes, let me put all together I can to buy this hero, and then they become attached to it. Once you're attached to the NFT, that's what brings value to the game, because if you're attached to something, you keep coming back. Now, with all this information in mind, Joule versus a hero, which one is better? In my opinion, they actually go both together. You want a little bit of both, not financial advice. If you just have a hero, well, then you don't have Joule on the side for potential opportunities to pick up other heroes or use the Joule to level up your hero. Well, of course, yes, you can mine and farm for it, but still, the point is, it's always good to have a little bit of Joule. That way you can participate inside the game mechanics. And it's also good to have a hero so you can also participate in the other game mechanics. So it's a well-rounded game, and they also involve different benefits and features for each of them. So in my opinion, from this, it's good to have a little bit of both. Not financial advice, but just coming from a gamer's perspective in playing the game. At least spend about 45 minutes to 1 hour just researching how this game works, or just watch a couple videos I made, and then you will understand the vision that this team actually has and how much time they actually spent in developing this game. Then you will understand the values of it, then you'll understand how it works, and you will be ahead of about, well, just for that guy who made the comment, 98% of all the other people out there on DeFi Kingdoms. If you're watching this video, yeah, I do maths. It's 98%. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to jump in the Discord, there's a link in the description below. The link in the description below is going to be the Patreon link. That is the Discord link. It is the VIP tier in order to sign up and get in the Discord. Basically, it's going to be exclusive content that's not shown on YouTube and other strategies I'm doing in the crypto markets, as well as some other DeFi degens just like you that are way smarter than me. Proverbs chapter 21 verses 26. All day long he craves for more, but the righteous give without sparing. Always give, man. Actually, let's read the first part. The craving of a sluggard will be the death of him, because his hands refuse to work. If you don't know what a sluggard is, it's basically that guy who just doesn't do anything and just sits there and is like, I need some chips. Can I get some more chips? Like, as in like a bag of chips. Like, bro, go to work, do something, and actually be a help and a benefit to society. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. You guys can also catch me on tweeters. It's at rent a home fast, like literally at rent a home fast.